About to see is standard operating procedure and happens thousands of times per week in the United States. Gentlemen, let me explain something here. Operating procedure and happens thousands of times per week in the United States.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Operating procedure and happens thousands of times per week in the United States. The drug war was initiated after at every major little pharmacy. And in the old days, convenience stores were mainly pharmacies. They had newspapers and drugs and things. Less people were using marijuana, cocaine, heroin when they were legal. Once they made them illegal, no one is safe. The police can bust in your door because some
And now when you saw his reptilian eyes, here comes the part when he's talking about CIA family members.
Let me tell you a story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family. Let me just say something. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family doing things like helping take in East German defectors, okay? Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
What?
And do you know what they tell me?
What?
They tell me I'm dead on, 100% absolutely
There
right.
you go.
Stop the tape. Did you hear that admission? Let me play it again. Here we go.
Let me tell you a story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family. Let me just say something. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family doing things like helping take in East German defectors, okay? Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
What?
And do you know what they tell me?
What?
They tell me I'm dead on, 100% absolutely
There you
right
go.
about what
Hello YouTube friends and those who are not, my dear trolls who's gonna be blocked. Today is November 27th, 2017. It's 3:20 a.m. and I'm inspired to talk about Mr. Alex Jones, a guy I've been like really huge fan of back in the day when I was showing his movies and David Icke's movies and Stuart Swerdelow's projects and Enigma channel and all other mostly disinformers back in the Kuc Kalvaria one theater here in Rijeka. It was 2006 2007, and I was also working with I didn't know that back then, Illuminati. So my story and this story gonna kind of intertwine because we are talking about the disinfo agents and how they operate. First things first, the intro about the Alex Jones speaking about his CIA family. Well, guys, this is, if nothing, alarming, because if you ever hear somebody speaking, bragging about his family in the Secret Service, his family being members of the privileged minority, positions of affluence, being high-ranking Freemasons, these are always very alarming signs, and I'm just gonna spit it out immediately. There is a certain hierarchy on this planet, and you have the reptiles and demons about them, but reptiles, they are mind-controlling people who are born in the reptilian system of families called the Illuminati. Check out the Fritz Springmeier and his book and Cisco Wheeler's book on this topic. Thanks to Divan Antic, you can also download it from the internet for free. Excuse me, which is a really great thing. So then you have the underdogs of the system, people who are simply working for them as well, basic gang stalkers, gang members in the neighborhood, of course, borderline personalities, narcissists, psychopaths. Many of those guys are congregated into the police force and the army, and if nothing, then at least some sort of security. So these guys are their underdogs. And then you have the gullible people who are following them, and then you have targeted individuals like me, people whose mind cannot easily be twisted, and people who have their own opinions. These people are targeted. Alex Jones is clearly not targeted. Okay? That explains why he's not a targeted individual, why nobody is microwaving him, why nobody is hitting him with direct energy. Well, there is no really gang stalking and work against him, because if he were really truth speaker, his channel would be down so long time ago. He would be hit with fast developing cancer and stuff, etc., etc., etc. He would not be given a platform, financial platform support, and so on. He is disinfo agent, and the way how disinfo agents are working, you have in these links where professional troll incognito is explaining how trolling is working, and exactly the way how trolling is working on the internet is working in real time. They disrupt meetings, like Alex Jones was disrupting this small.
According to FBI records, COINTELPRO resources were expended on infiltrating, disrupting, marginalizing, and/or subverting groups suspected of being subversive. I can't tell you how many times I've just gone to any political event.
Constantly put on the defensive against the federal government. Every single time. Be it the FCC coming to town and trying to shut down our local micro broadcaster. Be it the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration coming to town and trying to shut down and train the police officers to do blood withdrawals. Be it the DATF now.
That's an example of COINTELPRO. Here's another great example of COINTELPRO.
You are not going to get away with your activities. You are not going to get away.
Hey, ladies, the Second and First Amendment, get the hell out of my face.
I'm here to tell you right now that we are not your property.
You're not part of the team.
Right now.
You're not part of the team.
I mean, I almost started crying last night when I was at that demonstration. And I saw these families bringing their children up to me for me to shake their hand, and I just look at their innocence.
He's trying to take over our rally that a lot of people worked on.
Is that once they cause all the infighting and division and problems, then everyone spends their time on that, and then you can't expand your organizations.
All right, is the freedom movement divided in Austin? Somebody doesn't want to play nice.
And every time I go to a big city and see provocateurs, I've seen it in Austin.
Are you ready to step down? You're provocateur!
That's COINTELPRO, playing that against people, creating racial division, infiltrating groups, trying to radicalize them, trying to get people to commit acts of violence so they can put them in prison.
You have never had more solid evidence that Alex Jones is working for the bad guys than right here, right now. Because what he's doing, he's coming to a peaceful rally, he's trying to stir up violence.
They want to radicalize mainline libertarians, conservatives, so we can be politically demonized, so we don't become mainstream and take our country back.
Us look like lunatics. Number one. Number two, he gets us divided amongst ourselves.
Then we have the Time Warner cable company, which is actually InfoWars, which is a really, really in-your-face appropriate name, and they like really appropriate names in your faces because they can spin with that.
Do you have some ID with you that you would
Yes, I sure do.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, come on over here. But I want this camera on at all times for documentation.
Who do you work with? Can I see it? Can I mind if I take it?
No, I do not want you taking my wallet.
I just want to move your hand so I can see it.
No, sir.
I'm not going to take your wallet.
Right there, right there.
You work for Time Warner Cable?
Right there.
Is that who you work for?
I work for Alex Jones. Who do you work for?
You work for President
I work
Time
for InfoWars.
You work for Time Warner Cable? Right there. Is that who you work for?
InfoWars brought to you by Time Warner Cable. CNN is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. So when you watch Alex Jones debate Piers Morgan on CNN, figure it out. They're both being paid by the same company.
Well, the cop is clearly identifying the journalist, and he has an ID where it says that he's working for the same company, which is owning CNN and quite a bit of the media in States. And this is how the system is set up. Nobody's out of the place. You either have these big players or you have their official opposition, and there's shitloads of these guys on YouTube, and they have really good channels, and they're really supported by the YouTube algorithm and their Illuminati network, which is, if I didn't say, more than 1% of the population. Okay, just add inside maybe 5% psychopaths and then 10% borderline personalities, and do your own math how jobs are spread in the society, and you will have the idea who's actually pushing for the same agenda, more or less conscious. Okay, so mind that. And I'm gonna be speaking about these shills as well later on, and I'm gonna be bringing some examples from the internet, because there's some really great examples, like a Vice News. Okay, link also there where they're smearing the targeted individuals. So another thing is, let's go back to the Bohemian Grove. When I discovered that movie in 2006, and Bohemian Grove movies from year 2000, almost 18 years ago, I was totally taken by it. I turned into a huge admirer of Mr. Jones. But notice this thing. He managed to somehow bypass the Secret Service and the Sheriff's Department and their internal security. This is the first thing, which is like, how can you do that? Like, so many important people, shouldn't they be protected from terrorists and so on, right?
Only a select few, a little over 2,000 people, travel there to engage in bizarre, ancient Canaanite, Luciferian, Babylon mystery religion ceremonies. And I successfully infiltrated through the Secret Service, through the guards, through the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department.
Which would pursue us here, has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, flames that eat thine effigy. We shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. Ye shall burn me once again. Not with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
Why it's impossible to be around the Illuminati and not to be spotted? The reason is very simple. 1% of the born in Illuminati, and I think all reptiles, but about born in, about 30%, maybe in the worst case scenario 20-25% of them, they really do have natural telepathy, meaning they can really see thoughts, feelings, whatever is going on in your aura, and they can influence that with the energy. Okay, this is first thing. Second thing, all of them, definitely now, all of them, they have synthetic telepathy, meaning they have a remote neural monitoring technology, which is working something like this. Your biofield is electric. The cell tower gonna, or satellite gonna read your biofield. Artificial intelligence gonna interpret your thoughts, and then this data gonna be sent to the mobile phones of the perps, and they just gonna go through thoughts and just gonna interpret it. And if you are TI, you know how the street theater is working. They mention private details about you. They even mention in the real time what's going on in your head, and this is how they freak people out. So, once more, Alex Jones is not somebody system is stepping on, because he is part of the system. So he's now inside that ceremony when they're cremating a care, and they've also been doing, I'm sure they've been doing public human sacrifices, and he's filming that with a hidden camera and nobody can spot him. Brilliant. I really did believe in that in 2006, but since 2012, when I for the first time managed to spot Illuminati around me, and when I became aware of that telepathic communication, that shit doesn't fly anymore. So this is like totally excellent example.
have uncovered the New World Order, which is deadly. It's full of what you call people who are criminals. Well, this is what I'm coming to. It's full of criminals, etc., who seek to run the world and will kill anybody who gets in their way. And you are almost, and have been, a lone crusader powering against them. So how come? How are you still alive?
Why am I alive?
No, which is yes. Listen,
Why am I alive?
which is the explanation? One, they don't exist. Or two, you're part of the conspiracy.
No, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story.
You're part of the conspiracy. No, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story.
And you know, even Mr. Cooper, who was real fighter against the system, small guy, in a sense of being born out of the system. That guy exposed him because he was, he was very aware of who he was and how big a liar he is.
Before we get started, I have to clear up a little discrepancy here. Apparently the other night, or within the last week, because I've been getting a lot of email about this, and I even received one telephone call. Apparently somebody called the Alex Jones broadcast and asked him why he didn't have me on the air, or asked him something about me. Alex Jones said he had me on the air once before, several years ago, and had to cut me off the air because of the foul language that I used. So on the air tonight, I'm going to tell you, Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar. Now let me say that again so there's no mistake about it. You can all tell Alex Jones that I said this, and I suspect he's listening because he does. Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, stinking, rotten little coward liar. I was only on the Alex Jones show one time. It was years ago, when I didn't know who he was, when I didn't realize what a liar and a coward and a sensationalist bullshit artist that he is. He was on one little FM station down in Texas. He wasn't on all the stuff that he's on now. And I agreed to be on his broadcast. That's when I was doing guest appearances on broadcasts, years ago. I was not cut off. I did not use any kind of foul language whatsoever. He treated me very well, and I stayed on for the whole show. Some of you in Texas know that that's true because you heard the broadcast and you taped it. Later, when I found out who Alex Jones was and what he was doing to the truth, and what a cowardly liar and sensationalist he really is, every time he called me after that, I have always refused to appear on his broadcast. Absolutely refused to lend him any credibility whatsoever.
And for the end, there is this really amazing footage when Alex Jones is speaking about his Masonic family members, and he's saying, I'm coming from the family of high-ranking Freemasons. That's it. That's the smoking gun. He simply said it. And then he's also mentioning belonging to the Illuminati, like the Age of Enlightenment and so on. So,
you know, I have to probably say that I have major Masonic roots. I have never been part of a Masonic lodge. I have never taken Masonic oaths or rituals. A lot of my family, because Texas was pretty much Masonic through and through, was Masonic, high-level Masonic. And they were very, very good people. George Washington was a Mason. I have been interviewed by major TV shows on History, Discovery Channel, you name it, about my view on Masonic orders. It really is next to impossible to try to describe Masons and the Masonic orders and the different systems. And yes, undoubtedly, my family on both sides on the Mayflower, hardcore Protestants, you could say Rosicrucians. This country was founded by real Rosicrucians, not the Rosicrucians you see out there today. And so, undoubtedly, if you want to say it, I mean, I would say I come out of a classical Enlightenment family of what you would call real Illuminati, real Enlightenment. And I'll just say it here. Everybody asks me who I am, I'll tell you. There's no secret society. There's no secret messages. There's no secret handshakes. There's freedom. There's Jesus Christ. There's free market. There's family. There's strength. There's honor. There's the will to fight tyrants. That's what there is. The will to fight evil. The will to build a new civilization.
Why are they doing that? Okay, it's like, it's really hard. It's really actually easy question to ask, but it's very difficult to answer. I have like a few theories, and take whatever I say with a pinch of salt. So the main reason why are they doing this is, first thing is the agent provocator. How does the agent provocateur working? And once more, check those links about how trolls are working on the internet. It's explained there very good. Agent gonna speak against the government, and then he's gonna speak it to the wide audience, and then from that wide audience, certain percentage of people gonna pick up that that tone, and they're gonna follow the agent. And then system gonna immediately gonna know who are the troublemakers or who are potential troublemakers in the future, and they're gonna become targeted. But at the same time, they're gonna also get misled and misinformed, because disinformation is something like a hamburger. Meat is the truth, everything else, the onions, the cheese, the bread, the mayonnaise, it's a lie. But when you're consuming Alex Jones, in this particular example, you're taking everything as one product, and you are eating it, and then it takes forever until you figure it out, something more profound. It took me 7 years to understand that I'm targeted individual, precisely because I was growing up on Alex Jones, on David Icke and others. I started to be targeted in the year 2007, and I figured it out in 2014. Actually, I started with elections 2007, 8 years. Okay, that's crucial. That explains why. Another thing why they're so open, because truth is really kept best out on the open, because we are all mind controlled. The reptiles, they control their prison planets by the mind control. This is how it works. So when people are mind controlled, you can really tell them the truth.
I'm not gonna drain you completely. You'll be my slave. Because I don't think you're worthy of human blood. You'll feed on the blood of stray dogs. You'll be my footstool. And at my command, you lick the dog shit from my boot heel. Ooh. Since you'll be my dog, your new name will be Spot. Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.
And then, in the form of art, in a form, as I put it in a very good video, and this is my favorite video ever, and I have like more than 440 updates. Demons are aliens, aliens are prison guard, right there. And then by the end, you have a couple of examples from the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, and another one from the Star Trek. You have exactly what's going on. So because it's kept in the form of illusion, therefore you pick up that you're either somebody very naive who believes in science fiction, or you are crazy. And that's how they play, and this is how they're hitting targeted individuals. With that thing, they use truth against you. Okay. For that, I have also a link, which is called the Psychiatry and the Targeted Individual Update 1, and then you have later an update 2, links below. This is why. Now, guys, I was speaking here for a while, 12 minutes and a half. Tell me what you think about him. Tell me what your gut feeling is telling you. Tell me what your experience is telling you, and comment below. Trolls gonna be blocked, and their comments gonna be removed, because I am very aware of how the whole thing works, and I just gonna spit it here out, because luckily the liar itself, the disinformer itself, Alex Jones, gave me a bit of the footage from the cremation of the care place where they also do human sacrifices, in my belief. So when we die, we see white light, and we see holographic images of dead relatives and saints. This is projected from the reptilian UFO. Then we get sucked in. Story goes that we also get additional torture so they can milk what's left of our energy. Then they put us in cylinders and store us nicely, neatly. In the perfect case scenario, 80 years to 100 years, Earth years. We recharge because we have some contact with the source as a soul, so we cannot ever possibly die. But we kept in a loop. And then they put fetus when it's time into the soul into the fetus of 3-week-old baby, and then inside that womb we get the first etheric implant, which is the Lux extension of the Lucifer. Check out the works of Dr. Corrado Malanga. If you want his PDFs, put me down your email. I'm gonna email you his PDFs because his talks are on Italian and a little bit confusing. Okay, and this is the beginning of very serious manipulation which is going on in the aura of every person on a planet. So this is one of many levels of manipulations. So on the ground, the same aliens, which are demonic entities, they have their hierarchy of people who are bullshitting us. One of them is Alex Jones, okay? And this is a very big network. I'm telling you, more than 1% of people. But count inside psychopaths, 5%. These people are direct drones of the demonic energy. So 1 in 20 is inside the system. Now go figure how difficult it is to figure it out, the truth. And you lucky ones who are watching this, I wish somebody had this to explain me like 10 years ago. But here it is, and that's just how it is. For the end, thank you those guys who are watching me on a regular basis, like Sil de Nord, Québécois, Vive le Québec Libre, guys from Japan, Kenny and Jack Mercer. Okay, not born in Japan, but living there, very cool guy. Also check out his channel. You have a link right here. My old viewers, definitely, most of my viewers are from States, then from Great Britain, then from Croatia. Indians are only checking out the slave markets. One video, I might put a link below. It's nothing special, but that's how it is. So that's it. I don't know what else to say.